Today we're going to give you an update of our Algae Turf Scrubber build. If you didn't download the plans yet, they're still out there, still available. It's a $5 donation to get a copy of the plans, and you can download all the updates for free from that point forward. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button, like us on Facebook, and we sure appreciate all your support. So stay tuned and we'll get right to it here. So I haven't been satisfied with our production of algae in here, and so one of the upgrades I've done is I put a bigger pump in here. Now I had, you can see, hopefully you can see that, there's quite the waterfall coming out of there now. There, the light shut off, that helps. And you can see just a little bit of algae that I've got seeded on the screen. I just cleaned that off. So what I'm using is a maybe you can see it if I really... Okay, there's the pump I'm using right there. It's a Quiet One 2200. It's pretty quiet. Pretty... this is the return line here from the ATS going into this sock. And you know, the sock, you can see there's something in there, but I don't really see that as a big deal. One of the things, you know, I think the LEDs are a little bright, and I found this today. So this is the white number 7 screen I've been using, but I found this black screen. And so one of the ideas for dimming the light out without using a dimmer is to put this black screen. I think that'll take about maybe 40% of the light out. And one of the things you can do is, if you put two and you move them, you can sort of adjust it so that you can see, you know, there can be any amount of light you want with something like this. So I'm going to put those in between the light and the box, and we'll do that right now, in fact. So we'll put that on right now, and okay, so I put the dimmer in here, and that cut it back quite a bit. You can see that screen on the sidewall there, and that really has cut our light back. Now, one thing I kind of noticed is, you know, it sort of accentuates the hot spot from the you know, the discs, or the LED discs that they have in the center of each of these. One idea I had for that was just to put a square of material over that center area, but for now I'm just going to try this and see if it helps the algae grow a little better with a little bit dimmer light. This is what happens in our tank with the hair algae. You know, it just kind of grows in the sand, and you can see it on the rocks there and in a few different spots around the tank. And the Algae Turf Scrubber has virtually eliminated this problem, but we're still not, you know, completely satisfied with the production. So we're going to keep updating here and see what we can do to make this work even better. One thing, you know, when you first get started, the algae is going to look like yellow snot, and then over time it does turn green. Okay, since I got the new pump on the ATS unit, there's been a little problem with, you know, there's a lot of overspray going on here. See if you can get a shot of that. And see what happens is it kind of sprays up on the sides. So I made this pipe. I just cut a piece of black PVC, and maybe I took off about a third. And so that's going to clip over the top here. First I want to make some little side shields, and it really serve two purposes. See, I bought the Gorilla Tape, tough and wide. So the reason for the side shields is, even though when we made this, the ATS unit here a couple months ago, if you watched that video, you saw that I left, I roughed up the screen and I left the top 2 inches of the screen smooth. And even with that, we're still getting algae growth on that top part of the screen. So I'm just thinking that this idea here will kind of alleviate that situation for us. And if I could get this on here straight, we'd be in good shape, right? Okay, that's pretty straight. Now this, I don't recommend using regular duct tape for this. This isn't the first time I've tried this. But regular duct tape, I can tell you right now, will not do the trick. And I'd like to have it. So what I'm doing here is just going to fold it over. You can see there, it's stuck to the inside of the PVC, and that's so that none of that, nothing can climb up underneath the adhesive that way. It's sealed in there. So that's our little shield. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. And that worked out pretty nice, looks good.
Try it from the side one.
So that should keep the, so because I took off a third, it clips right on there wonderfully. So maybe you can get a shot down in there of that. So it still looks pretty good, and our cover still fits. And so we'll let that go, and I should probably show you what it looks like when it's full of algae, which I'll do in about a week when it fills up again. So hang on. Okay, so I want to show you guys what happened to the ATS now. Notice how the top looks a little bit warped there. Maybe you can see it better if I put this cover on. See how it's warped right through here? You can see, well, it's leaking down here. And the reason that it's leaking is because my pump went out. I've got a octopus pump down here. You can see it there. And here's the controller for it. It's a DC pump. It's been in there for about a year, and the octopus just decided to shut off. Well, of course the skimmer went wild, but that wasn't the problem. What happened is it shut off, and I didn't know about it. I had the probe from the apex for the heat up here, temperature probe, in my overflow. I thought that was a good spot. And what happened is the overflow kept getting cooler and cooler and cooler because no water was recirculating. But my heaters, so then the Apex said, well, turn the heaters on. There's my heaters. I don't know if you can see that. There, you can see it. The Apex said turn the heater on because it's getting colder. So, long story short, I came down here and the water in my sump was red hot. I mean, I couldn't even stick my hand in there. It was hot. I burned myself when I put my hand in. That's how hot it was. And so the, of course, the ATS was running, you know, because it happened at night. And so the pump runs all the time anyways. So basically, it fried the algae that was on the screen here. You can see it's just white. Unbelievable. Here's the other side. Just fried it. And, you know, we were starting another pretty good crop there, and boom. Fried algae. So, I'm going to have to take this ATS out and seal up those leaks. And as long as I'm doing that, maybe I'll play around with some dimmers. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to get started pulling that out. So luckily, I put some nice fittings on here. I'm just going to bring a bucket over in case things get drippy. But I put some unions on this thing so that I could remove it. There's one up here. And I already unplugged it. So, just that simple. We can pull the ATS off the system here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and dump all this water out of here and make sure this baby's empty. So I got this fan on here. I'm just going to kind of let this dry out for a while. I cleaned it up pretty good. Get you in there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. We'll just let that dry from this fan for a while. I don't want to re-glue it when it's wet at all. I might even let it go overnight. So I just want to show you this. I bought these switches online. It's a dimmer switch. And so what I've done here is I clipped the red and the black from the ballast here that's going to the LED. And we'll go ahead and turn that on. I'll show you what happens. So there's our LED, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. And you can see it's not dimming, and then it gets to that point where it just clips. So it's doing the same thing as our AC dimmer did, which is, I'll just turn that up and down. So the AC dimmer does a little bit, but it ends up clipping. So I'm thinking that the only way to get these bulbs to work, or these LEDs here to work, is if I was to go ahead and probably have to buy new ballasts for them. So we'll see what we're going to do next. I might try a different LED, so stay tuned. So we're going to have to go ahead and reseal the ATS, and we're going to try some new lights. I'm showing them here. I got them on eBay. I know some guys who have tried similar ones. These are dimmable, and I think they're going to work pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild it with these. So I'm just going to use a little of this acrylic bond 16 on the inside here. Remember I said it started to leak after the super hot water went through here. So this will seal it up. Basically like putting a bead of caulk inside here. Function over beauty. Okay, so when you're bending this aluminum strap material, bar stock, it's important that you get it straight in your vise before you bend it over, because otherwise your bend will be crooked, and that's just not going to cut it. Okay, so I got it mounted here, and actually turned out pretty clean. I still have to mount this other one. I just wanted to show you kind of the difference here between this and our other lights. This one, you know, it's a full panel of lights, versus the other one had a little puck of lights, and I had two of them, of course, on the ATS system. But this one's going to give more broad array of lights without any hot spots, which should be pretty nice. And you know, a lot of the guys in the Aquarium Society here in town have sworn by them, so I think this is kind of a nice system. It's got fans on it and a dimmer, and that was one of the problems with the old one, is that the dimming, you know, I wasn't able to get that to work, so this should take care of that. Okay, so I did have to modify this a bit. Remember, we had a piece of foam going across here. I'm leaving the one on the bottom, that fit perfect. I did add a strip on either side to block off, because this one isn't quite as wide. And what I'm doing is I'm just using some 832 screws. Now you can see what I bought here on the table. It's you know, just some 832 by half, and I'm going to use a lock washer, and those are stainless. This screw right here is going to get removed, and this is metric, but I found you can get those 832s. It's just sheet metal, just tapped sheet metal, and it's simple enough to get those 832s in, and I didn't want to deal with converting to metric. So, but you can kind of see how it looks on the other side there with the LED in there. It, you know, that's a full array that's going to cover that sheet of algae in there. So I think, you know, this is really going to be nice. And the guys in the Aquarium Society tell me that 2 inches is the magic number. Have it be 2 inches away from the screen, and just so happens that we'll be about 2 1/4 inches away from the screen with this. So I think we're golden on this. Yeah. So I'm mixing up some mud here for the wall, and I'm mixing it pretty thin because I only put one coat on here. But I had this board on here, and it was holding this filter, and really, you know, at one time this board held this whole business here, but now since the ATS is there, the board only was holding this one filter. You know, there's never a stud where you need one in sheetrock, right? So I'm just gonna patch this up here and repaint. And I still have the original paint. You know, I always keep the paint can around from stuff that I've painted in the past. That way I can touch things up if I need to. So that should take care of that little problem. So I like the powder. You know, this is the 45-minute dry. Pretty nice stuff, really, you know. Look at that. So I wanted to show you this. So instead of having that board, I'm going to use these. You can pick these up at Menards. And I just drilled the holes out here. And I don't know if you could see that, but just put those anchors in there. And that's going to hold that filter instead of that board. So, and I had this thing just kind of. So that'll take care of that problem. No board. And now we can finish the wall. I'm going to maintain a gap between the ATS and the wall for the fans, but you know, it's going to be pretty tight to the wall, about an inch away, and that should be enough because the fans are blowing out, sucking in from the sides and blowing out. It'll dissipate that air. So we'll keep going here. Okay, so we got the new lights installed. We've got the plumbing pre-done. I actually ran a drain for the ATS special because I was using the Herbie drain off of this tank, and I was just getting a lot of gurgling going on. And we're still getting some gurgling going on, but I'll figure something out for that later. But at any rate, there it is. You can take a look. Your fans are running, and pretty nice system. I did open up the slot on the tube to give it more water flow, and I've got a quiet one pump on there now, so it's she's really cooking. So we'll check back in here in a couple of weeks and see what our algae crop is like. So thanks for watching. Cyclone Reef, hit the subscribe button down below. Really appreciate all the subscribers. I will update the plans with the new lights and so on, so that you can download them. If you've already donated $5, you can download the updated plans for nothing. Otherwise, for $5, you can, you know, download the plans as often as I update them for free. So again, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey, thanks for watching Cyclone Reef. Please hit the subscribe button, like our video. We'll see you next time.